How about you, if I just sold something for nearly £100, a bit of brown wrapping paper and a bit of bubble wrap is not what I would do. It'd be a bit more secure than that, so I'm fingers crossed, because this is something I've been after, or even considered trying to do out of a, if you know, I've got the London North Eastern Class 47 Kings Lynn, and I was fortunate enough to track down London Evening Standard, which didn't run around this way, but getting hold of one that was an exclusive. And then I just recently got the other one, Old Oak Common. This one has been redone because you can't get it, excuse your fingies, County of Norfolk 47582. So we purchased this to complement the London North Eastern fleet. The remaining one is Great Eastern I'm after. I believe Helgen do one, but I think Bachmann did as well. I'd rather have the Bachmann one if I can help it. So let's have a look, and hopefully the Royal Mail have been kind to us. Well, on first examination it seems to be relatively good order. Detail pack still all in the sealed packaging, it's never been fitted. Secondary coupling's never been put on. But can you see a problem? He's got a window there. Not there. When I took it, I heard a rattle. I thought something's going around inside. Both side glasses have fell out on that end. Fortunately, they were still in the cab, so I shall have to have the body off to reattach them. But other than that, at least this one turned up with an intact battery box, because when I bought my Kings Lynn brand new from TMC a couple of years ago, it turned out all that bit was completely smashed. And I went back and they exchanged it for another one. This side seems to have been done relatively well. You can still see a little bit of marks from the decal fix or whatever it is. The other side's not quite as good. Not really showing up on the camera, but there's a bit more sort of brush marks around there. You can see, I don't know whether they'll clean off. You can see it there. But other than that, it seems to be okay. So we'll just stick her on the rolling road, fingers crossed. I don't know whether it's been chipped. As I say, everything's still in the bag, so I don't see a blanking plate anywhere. So it could well still be in it. Well, that escalated fast. First it was 2 pieces of glass, then the glazing for the door came out while we were fighting with it to get the body off the chassis. But that's glue and glazed all back in now. Been getting on quite well with that, as long as you don't make a mess with it, because you don't need a lot. And it's bloody awkward trying to keep it out of the way and away from where you don't want it, because as soon as you squeeze a window in, out pops a little white substance which is overflow from it. But we managed to get everything back in. So we will, obviously we're on DC, there's no chip in it. That's an encouraging sign. Right now. Oh, sounds like she runs anyway. So that bit's a relief. So at least we've got a working loco. So now it's a case of finding a chip for it. Now I did buy some off of BWL, whatever they are, but I can't remember where I put them. So yeah, while I've got this skirt off, I might as well chip it. It did start life as a 47576 Kings Lynn and has been rebranded County Norfolk. Well, it looks like this is going to turn into an installation video now. Right, this is an 8-pin, 21-pin converter for those that don't know. You can't get them in the wrong way because there is, when it focuses, you can see there's one pinhole there and below it it's not. That's better. You can see, zoom in there, you can see there's a pin missing on the row on the left hand side, which corresponds with the underside. I'll get it in shot help. Just there, you can see there's a pin there. So you can't get them the wrong way around. And then obviously these Lay's DCC ones, I had a Gauge Master one at start, and what I always do, if I can get the light to stay where it needs to be, is you can see the pin protrusion. Now on these and the Gauge Master ones, I always trim them off and then put a bit of Captain tape underneath. Even though there's nothing on the circuit board there, it could really come into harm. But unless it's going to act as a support, there is a chance they could wear through the varnish into the copper track and cause problems in the future. So I nip them off, Captain tape, and if you want you could put a little bit of black tack under there just to support it from stopping it bending down. Now the Gauge Master ones, they use a slightly different socket to this, and the moulding, the pins are exposed and it leaves that sitting higher. So the time you put your 8-pin plug on the top, you've run out of room. You cannot get the, certainly on a Class 47 Bachmann, you cannot get them back on. That plug is too high. Even sort of grinding a little piece down, I went all the way with this and gave up, could not get the lid back on. The top of the body was fouling, and tried these ones, and these fit a treat. These are about the lowest profile you can get unless you start making up one yourself and trimming them right down. And Gauge Master's one is £5 and this was £2.50. So I always keep a stock of these for any modification. Well, I've mounted the converter plate, but I'm now going to take it off so that I can get a better fit on these, because these look like a country bumpkin's teeth pegs. Look at that. Not one of them is straight. That's a Hornby TTS chip. I put the pins in and soldered the wires. Normally the soldering can be a little bit not on the great side. I just straightened one pin and then looked at them and not good. Yeah, Hornby up to their usual substandard standard. Right, well, we've amputated the original TTS speaker. If I recall, when I fitted my other one with one of these, I had a problem. I think I had to take the plastic surround out because it fouls where the fixing screws come through, and the rim risks shorting the cab lighting circuit there. And I think you have to shoehorn the chip there and the speaker there. I can't remember how I done the other one. I think it might have been the speaker there. Everything's got to stay lower than that because that is your limit, because that touches the roof and then the chip goes there. But there's not a lot of cable on this for the speaker anyway, so ditching this one this time. I've got some options. Unfortunately they're too big. They're just not going to fit in there anywhere. Below the circuit board is the motor. The only place you can put them is the battery box bit, and I'm not chopping it about. don't know what they'll go in. I think they possibly might end up in the TTS 37 because there's a bit more room in the railroad versions because there's only drive one end. So I've got these, but again that's a little bit too long to fit in this recess. I don't know whether it's sitting proud there, just sits a bit higher than that, so I might goof around with that, excuse the hands. And it's just a shame that's just bloody off, but obviously if I trim the case, that's the acoustic chamber of the speaker, so whacking a hole in it is going to lose some of the enhancement of the speaker. The other option is one of these. They're probably not going to be much better at all than the TTS, I would suspect, but it is a bloody nice fit. So I might go with that. That's the best fitting one, I think. So if we reel the other ones out, these ones are minuscule. I haven't even tried them on a one to see what they produce, but you could almost get the pair in there and have stereophonic sound. Yeah, they would fit in. I haven't tried them, so I don't know what they're like. They'd probably be mid-range to high with that sort of size. Probably not. They'd probably distort on setting 4 on the volume. Or I've got my other ones which I've used on a 37, and I use them on those little MP3 players, which as you can see is a little sugar cube speaker with a little housing for the acoustics. And I don't know, let's have a look. Well, it might just clear that, but I mean these are flat enough. I could stick this in the roof anyway, so it would be facing down, which would give you some sound reflecting back off of here. Or I could try and stick it underneath the grill so that the sound comes out. I think what I might do is go with one of those, although I've tried one before. I am tempted to use the other one. And I was just thinking I will solder the wires and tape them up, and then at some later stage, if I want to play around, I can just desolder it and pop the other speaker on just to give it a go. I really need to rig up a little test type thing to try all these little speakers that I've bought from China, many of which are the same as some of the well-known suppliers of speakers. Yeah, a bit of a quandary. That one or that one? Shall we leave it there and we'll put it to the vote? I'll put this video up tonight. Let's just do a little test. We'll play this track back on the other speaker.